Louisiana Creoles have never been Black Americans. That doesn't even make any sense because Louisiana belonged to the French. An American is a descendant of an Anglo-Saxon. The French and the Anglo-Saxons are two completely different groups of people. The only thing that changed when Louisiana was sold to the United States was the hands who owned it. The culture, that Creole culture, was still here and is still here. So just because you bought somebody's land doesn't give you the right or doesn't mean that you can change the identity of the people that was on that land before you bought it. And then after Louisiana was sold to the United States, they brought all that skin color as identity down here with the Jim Crow era, forcing people with brown skin to identify as Black. And then in the 1990s, Reverend Jesse Jackson forced us to identify as African American. But that is not who Louisiana Creoles are, and we've always been Louisiana Creoles. And just because y'all don't know us or know anything about us doesn't make us non-existent, doesn't make us less Creole. And just because y'all don't understand how I can have brown skin and not be Black or African American doesn't make me Black or African American. I'm a Louisiana Creole. And if you're interested in understanding what that means, there's plenty of research, plenty of information. And if you're genuinely interested in understanding what that means, there's plenty of information for you to research. There's plenty of books about Louisiana history and who Creoles are. And what amazes me is that y'all are attacking me in my comment section because I don't identify as an enslaved African. I am not an enslaved African. I'm a Louisiana Creole. It's really not that. It's 2024. Come on now. What the fuck?
The craziest part about the girl talking about being Creole and not being Black is like what you doing is basically saying like you better than us because your slave master spoke a different language. Omelette du fromage, nigger.
Hey guys, look, I just wanted to tap in really quick. I just got this feeling, man, that this summer is, it's about to be a white boy summer.
But don't you so-called Black Americans call each other the N-word every day? Oh, wait a minute, because you don't do it with a hard R, you do it with a soft A, so it's different. Miss me with the bullshit. So thank you for asking. When I fill out applications, no, Louisiana Creole is not on there, but I check white, American Indian, and Black or African American. Or if there's an option to check other, I check other and I write in Louisiana Creole because that's who I am. And in the state of Louisiana, when I say I'm not Black or African American, I'm Louisiana Creole, they understand what I mean. So I don't have this problem in my hometown. I only have this problem with Americans, specifically Black Americans.
And this is why I've told Black people before, stop trying to tell other people what to identify as. Slowly but surely, I've gotten a notion and I've slowly started doing that myself because you can look through previous terms and I'm like, yeah, this person is Black, that person is Black, everybody's Black, right? And then I'm like, you know what? I'm listening to the Africans, I'm listening to Jamaicans, I'm listening to Haitians, I'm listening to other Black people in the United States. And I'm like, you know what? Let me stop trying to categorize or put people in, these areas. I'm just not doing. I'm going to speak from, where I am, and specifically if it has to do with the story. I'm like, well, they identified you as Black. I'm just going to do it like that. I'm not going to do it the same way that I've done it initially. But then on top of that, the most interesting part is how she said she would identify when it dealt with marking things off, right? So that may be state ID or voting or what have you. She would go through 3 different options, right? Or if they had a written in option, she would mark that and then just put Louisiana Creole, right? And then she wanted to bring in the whole thing of how it is that Black Americans talk. She was like, well, aren't y'all the ones that use this verbiage, but then say it's different from the other verbiage? I'm like, yeah, like, let's just get it straight. We get it. You're saying that you're completely separate from anything dealing with slavery, right? That is not your history. That is not your culture. That has nothing to do with your people. No problem. So in return, as a Black American, I would just ask you to refrain from staying away from that conversation because you don't have the knowledge base. You don't have the history. You don't got the bloodline to even bring that up, right? That would be as if somebody Asian wanted to talk about the usage or the history of the N-word and they wanted to try to educate Black people. No, stay back from the conversation, mind your business. So the same thing to this Louisiana Creole woman. Mind your business. This has nothing to do with you. This has to do with Black Americans. Because obviously, like people in Florida and some people in California, you feel that you are completely separate. Proof of this is how she stated that she has this problem in general with Americans, right? So with the whole rest of the United States, she has this problem. But more specifically, she has this problem with Black Americans. Wow. Wow. To my knowledge, I'm just going to be real. When I look online, this is not really an argument or a conversation that the whole of the Black American community is having, right? I can't speak for the Creole people, right? I can't, speak for them. But for the greater majority that are out there on the face of this continent, for the Black Americans that are here, this is not something that we talk about or think about or ponder about or write a thesis about every day, every week, during out the months or the years, right? That's not anything that's really on our plate as a to-do thing. It's something that we really gotta put away right now. It's just not. And looking directly at the pictures that we have in front of you, and one, she said, when Black Americans use essay during enslavement to try and shame me for embracing my European heritage, like Black American men and other men of color don't essay women and take advantage of children. The defense is crazy. The defense is crazy. We're literally talking about historically how a lot of these areas that have this European concept were taken over, how it is that they were founded. She didn't want to stick directly on that path. She was like, you're not going to talk about the Frenchmen like that. We're not doing that. We're going to sit up there and talk about you, Black men. I'm like, wow. So out of nowhere, Black men just caught strays for no reason. Out of all the things that we have to sit, a Creole woman decided that she wanted to list Black men. And no, she didn't say that some Black men. She didn't say the few. She said Black men in general. Wow. Just catching strays for no reason. I didn't have anything to do with this conversation realistically up until she decided to say that. But like I said, never mind. You know what? You got it. You want to be Creole? The French ended up having y'all and they had their way, right? But like I said, I guess she don't want to look at what the French did over there to the Haitians. Because I can promise you that the Haitians have more of a rich and a deeper history with the French than what she does. And I know by way of this because the supervisor, shout out to Francie, he told me a little bit about the history there. A few of the Haitians did. And we know the Haitians as some of the mightiest ones out there because they took the liberation that they did for their own people and they took it elsewhere. So like I said before, you have other people out there that can understand and identify with certain things, but they're not going to look over the actual history and then try to shine the light on somebody else in order to get away from the actual facts. Like I said, that's completely crazy to me, but here we are. And then in the next picture, she said, and this is Bridget Bardot. She's French. We have the same face shape. Okay. Like I said, it is what it is at the end of the day. All I'm simply saying is that I would wish that there was a way for a lot of the people that feel that they aren't Black American or don't identify, I wish they could just sign a paper that states that, hey, I hereby say I am this, that, and I'm not Black American. And if there is ever a time where reparations for Black Americans will show up, I do not want any parts of it because I am not Black. I wish there was a paper, and I would love to see how many of these individuals that claim that they are not Black American and don't want to, talk about the history, look at it or whatnot or whatever, however you want to categorize it. I wonder how many of them would sign that paper just off the bat. I wonder how many. I'm just saying, because there's so many people. And I promise you, there's a lot of other people out there that will try to run. Let there be $1 trillion. Let at any moment in time, the United States is like, yeah, we got $1 trillion for Black Americans at this moment, and we're going to start giving that out. Do you know how many people would try to commit fraud to say that they are Black American? You know how many people would try to say that, oh, I got Black American ancestry, my great grandmother. They would try to go by the 1-drop rule and all this other. It's going to be madness out here. It is going to be complete madness out here. And a lot of people are going to try to say like, oh, this is wrong. Why are they the only ones that get to get this and get that? Like, because it's due time. Because everybody else have received some type of form of money. But like I said before, it is what it is. However she feels is however she feels. I am not here to argue with her about that. I am not. I could realistically care less because there are more pressing issues directly out here. Like I said, people can be whatever it is that they want to be. But if you don't have a lot of numbers, sooner or later, that is going to start to dwindle down. Case in point, look directly at Asian countries. Look at how it is that they identify. They know exactly who it is that they are, but their numbers are piss poor at this moment in time. And soon enough, they are not going to have the numbers in order to even say that, hey, we are this and we are that. So like I said, it's only a matter of time, realistically, for everybody. But anyways, let me know what you guys think about this video and everything that I listed in the comment description below. And as always, peace, love, stay tuned for the next video.